Hi there and welcome to Tactical Magfed. In this video I'm going to be breaking down a beginner's guide to red dots for your paintball markers. If you've got your shiny new Magfed marker and you're thinking about putting a red dot on it, check out this video. Okay, so you've got your shiny new Magfed marker. It looks the real deal and you want to put a cool tactical sight on it. In this video I'm going to kind of break down some of the scopes out there that you can get, especially on the budget level of things, which is what these all kind of are, and the pros and cons to each of them, what to look out for. So first off, let's address the elephant in the room. Are red dots any use on a paintball gun or paintball marker? The jury's out on this one. So there's lots of people that say they're useless and there's lots of people that say no, there's a definite plus to them. I sit on the side of the wall or the camp that there's a use to them, but you have to understand their limitations and set your expectations of what you're trying to use them for. And I'll break that down a little bit. If you're expecting to go and stick a red dot sight on your paintball marker and become Chris Kyle, American style sniper, and hit anything on the paintball field at any different distance, your expectations are going to get smashed pretty quickly. And also, if you were going to get your high-end speedball paintball marker and put a red dot on it thinking that you're going to use it to adjust your sight and save ammunition or save your paintballs, that's going to be pretty pointless for you too. So there's two spectrums. Putting these on a regular paintball gun with a hopper, first of all the hopper gets in the way, so do away with that. But if you did mount one on the gun some way, shape or form, offset on the barrel, those guys, speedballers, woods ballers, they put a lot of paint down field, down range, and they bring their marker in line with where the paint's going. So the main reason I use a red dot on my paintball guns or my paintball markers is that with 20 round mags, you want to make sure that the first shot, second shot, third shot is going where you intended to go, rather than putting 30 paintballs down and then waiting to see where they go like a tracer. So in the speedball paintball world of things, you just keep putting pods and pods of paint into your hopper and you're feathering the trigger away and you follow the paint to where your target wants to go. So you put lots and lots and lots and lots of paint where you want to shoot. In the Magfed world, you've got 20 rounds in each mag and you want to be hitting what you're shooting at within 1 or 2 rounds. So that's where the red dots come into play. So if you zero your red dot into a given range, so I don't know, a good range is between sort of 25-30 meters. So you know that you can hit a head-shaped or a body-shaped object at 30 meters, and if you've got your dot on an object within that range, you know that a round is likely to hit it. So if your first round hits, all well and good. If you miss, and you can quickly readjust and get your second and third shots on. So that's why I advocate using a red dot in the Magfed world, because you're trying to conserve your ammo and make sure that the initial rounds you put down are on target. That being said, paintballs are not the most accurate projectiles in the world. So there's a plus minus of a good, depending on the weather, the paint you're using, and the barrel and how well the paintball size fits the barrel you're using, all these kind of metrics. There's a fair variation between where you intend your paintball to go and where it ends up, and every now and again you might get a flyer. The caveat to that is first strike rounds. If you are using first strike rounds or you're a first strike round user, then optics are going to be a lot more used to you, because they will actually go within a fairly decent group, especially at shorter ranges. They'll group quite nicely. Anyway, I digress. I firmly sit on the side where red dots can be useful. You just need to have the right expectation and get the right red dot for what you want it to do. So in front of us here I have a selection of red dots. This is actually an RMR, not technically a red dot. This was on my FSC for a short while, but it's currently fitted to a 20mm Picatinny mount, so it could go on my T15, the same as all these others. So this was my first red dot, and you'll probably recognise this if you're an old school Call of Duty player. This is an old sort of Aimpont replica, and it used to be one of my favourite sights in Call of Duty. So hence when you started playing woods ball, and I have a cyclone hopper off to the right hand side of the marker. I plonked this on there, and yeah, used to immerse me in the game a little bit. Didn't really use it properly. It was more of a to make the marker look cool. It can be zeroed. It works. It's functional. It's a really good sight, and it can take a bit of a hit. It is fairly well closed off, so there's actually a glass shield where the laser or the red dot emanates from to reflect on the glass. It's had a few hits with paint, and you know, with a wet rag and a brush, you can kind of just clean it up. It's still pretty good. It still does come out of the box and go on. Normally have this on my secondary marker as a backup, or in the box, in my toolbox somewhere, just in case something else fails. It has on the back here 1, 2, 3, 4 different reticle styles, and you can just flip between them by turning that. And then this is just on, off, and brightness. Okay, I won't really go through the reticles on camera because they don't always show very well, and it'll just be a nightmare to edit all that stuff out. But so yeah, you got general cross. You got a dot in a circle, a dot in a circle, in a cross, and a cross. Okay, it's fairly standard sight mounts, sight reticles on there. My second red dot that I got was this beast here. Now I quite like these. I think it's a Halo Reflex sight. It's all sealed. It's showing its age now. All the plastic is starting to get a bit tacky and sticky over time. But again, it's just an on and an off, and different. You can change the brightness here. And the colour, I think this is green and red. It'll go green and red, and that's your adjustments here for your elevation and your windage. This is a pretty cool red dot. It's a bit of a beast, a bit of a bulky beast, due to the fact that it actually runs on 2 AA batteries in here. So the bulk of this essentially is the batteries. So if you are in the market for a reflex style sight like this, I'd steer clear of the ones that have the AA batteries in. You can get them with I think they're CR1650s or something. It's a single battery that goes that way, and they're effectively about from there to there long, so it cuts all this big nose out. You end up with a sight like that, which is a little bit better. Okay, and it came with a quick attach. They all come with various bits. So this came with the option to take this quick release off and put a standard bolt on there, and it came with some attachments like flip up covers on here. One thing to note about this, again, this is a sealed unit, so it does get hit with paint. It's fairly safe, as long as you don't submerge it or take it out on a really, really wet day, you'll be fine. But this shroud, this metal shroud, which it does actually come off if you really, really wanted to take it off. If you get paint splatters in there, you have to take it apart to clean it. If you're that bothered about getting it clean, you have to take it apart to clean it. Okay, so there's that one. Next up, this is actually one that I do run on my latest T15. This, I believe, is kind of an Aimpont replica. It's okay. Again, it's got the red and green options on here. You turn the dial here, and under these caps is your elevation and your windage. There we go. So your elevation and windage in there. I don't actually know what each click is on there, but if you're changing the elevation on these, you need an Allen key for that one, you need a screwdriver for that one, you need a screwdriver for these. That one is an actual really tiny screwdriver. I'll show you those in a minute. Okay, this one doesn't have different reticle options. Effectively, it's just one single, I can't remember, it's either 1 or 2 MOA, so a really small fine red dot in there, and it goes up to, again, 1 to 5 brightness on those. None of these have any zoom capability or function. They're all 1x magnification, so what you see is what you get. You can't zoom in, and it doesn't move your perspective on the target. That's good. It actually comes with this little riser as well, so we'll talk about risers in a minute. I have one here. Effectively, when you use a red dot with a paintball marker, because you wear a face mask, you need to raise the sight up higher than you would normally on a normal rifle. In the real steel world, you'd need to get a cheek weld on your buttstock, but because you've got a paintball mask in the way, you can't do the cheek weld. You don't need the cheek weld because you're not dealing with recoil like in the real world. So, it's a bit of a balancing act between positioning the buttstock where you want it and getting your head down backwards or forwards behind the sights as normal. But general rule of thumb is you use something like this, so a riser on the bottom of your sights that raises up the sight off the marker to give you a bit more clearance on the mask in your cheek on your buttstock. Might be a little bit easy to show you on one of these guys. So there you go. You see the difference there. Effectively, you're giving it twice the height up from the rail of your marker. Okay, this little boy here, this is a rip-off of a Vism sight, which is a flip-up red dot. So you'd have this, generally they're on pistols, but they can be mounted on anything that you'd want to mount a sight onto. As soon as you flip it up, the battery turns on, and it's live. You fold it down, it turns off. On these, your elevation and your windage are here and here, on the side and the back, and you also have these 2 screws on the back here, which are actually the lock screws. So once you've zeroed it, to zero it, you loosen them, set your windage and your elevation. When you're happy, you tighten these 2 screws on the back, and that fixes the zero. In the real steel world, it does work on these things, but don't expect these to hold zero like you would a real steel weapon. You're not getting that much recoil on a paintball marker, so it's not too much of a worry unless you bang it or drop it. Okay, so yeah, this is mounted on the, it's quite sensitive, it's mounted on a little plate that is actually a picatinny mount, so you can mount it onto picatinny rails. We'll get to this beast in a moment and explain why I've got 20mm picatinny rail on there. So onto this one. So believe it or not, this is a red dot, just the same as all the other ones are. I know it looks like a sniper scope or sniper-ish scope, but effectively all this is, it's single reticle in here. This little logo actually depicts the sight picture. In actual fact, it would be that way up. So you've got the dot and the circle in the middle, and then you've got these 3 prongs here. So you can actually adjust along these lines depending on where your target is and the distance you're at. And then the center reticle changes colour. It's either red or blue. Blue's actually quite good, stands out on most things, especially in bright sunshine and stuff when the red dot might disappear. The blue is actually quite a good option to have on your sights. Main difference between this one and these is, although it's a red dot and you'd use it the same, so all these sights you would use with both eyes open, or my personal preference is to use them both eyes open. These have no magnification benefit, so there's no benefit to closing your eye to get a clear sight picture. What you actually want to get used to doing is having both eyes open, and when you bring the sight up, you still have your full field of view, and all that happens is it's like an optical illusion where you're looking, you see the dot, so it's almost like you blur out the physical object you're looking at, the sight, and you see what you're aiming at with a dot on it. It's quite clever. But we'll probably do more on that when I do shooting demos and stuff like that, and maybe a zero in demo of how I zero. Going back to this sight, so yeah, main difference is this does have zoom capabilities. So on the top here, the default or the lowest zoom setting is 1.25. So as you get the sight picture you get through this is 0.25x stronger than all of these. So there is a slight zoom, but you probably wouldn't notice it that much unless you had had one eye shut and then opened it again. You'd probably see a slight difference in what the sight target. But then obviously as you move this dial around, it is actually 1.25 up to 5 times magnification. So again, I'm not rating this as a sniping or sniper scope. What I'm aiming to use this for is, depending on the scenario game that I'm playing. If I'm in a woods ball type game and all the players are at range, I'd probably find a sweet spot where, instead of making me able to shoot further, so with a sniper scope, what you're aiming to do is zoom in on the focal distance of the maximum range of the shot that you're trying to take. What I'm trying to do with this scope is just bring what I'm shooting at closer to me. I'm not trying to meet the maximum range of the projectile I'm shooting. I'm just trying to pull the target closer to me, so I can see how accurate I am, or how near I am at hitting them, or when I've hit them, and making them easier for me to spot at range. So classic example of to use this would be, you're in a normal woods ball field and all the targets are at, let's say, 25, 30 feet. You'd probably pull this in to somewhere around 2.5, 3, just to make that sight picture, when you pull your marker up, the sight picture just brings them that bit closer, so that you can say, right, that you can differentiate between, sometimes I'm playing against hopper players, so you can see a hopper popping up ahead, just give you a slight advantage over people that haven't got that sight picture. So hopefully I'll see them at range and target them before they can see me at range and target me. If they're a speedballer or a woods baller with a 300 round hopper or something daft, they'll probably be chucking paint at me left, right and centre anyway, but I digress. So yeah, there's different focal lengths on here, and also if I'm at a big scenario game and there is a mixture of open ground, buildings, let's say you 1 minute you're doing CQB kind of room clearing, house building, and then you're going from between houses or buildings across open ground, I can adjust the focal length of the zoom accordingly. I've also got like a canted rail on the side here, so the plan is to put a smaller RMR or red dot on the side here, so that if I do have to go into buildings and do some CQB style play, I just tilt the weapon 45 degrees and I've got a red dot for close counters. I've also got a sidearm for close counters, close quarters I should say. So I'll have different options. Obviously I don't want to be rocking first strikes in a room. It's pretty much frowned upon. I'll get the pistol out and do nothing with that. But yeah, you've got plenty of options with this sight. The downside of using a sight like this as opposed to one of these red dots, if you can call it a downside, is that you have to be directly behind it to get a decent sight picture. With these, you can have your marker up and you could be here or here. Yeah, you could be slightly offline. You'll still see the red dot, and within reason, whatever that red dot is pointing at, you'll still be zeroed on it. Slightly less so with this one, but as long as you can see the dot, again, it's a kind of tubular sight, but you've got more angle to see the dot and the target through it. This one, when you bring that up, you have to be on it. You know, if you're to the left, to the right, or up or down of it, because it's a tubular sight, you'll just get a blackout, if you like. You'll see the reticle, but you won't have a sight picture of anything. You won't see anything. It'll just be blacked out. So it takes practice. It takes practice to quickly acquire a sight with this as a red dot. But once you crack it, these are very, very good sight for going to distance and back, close, you know, fairly close to distance, and acquiring targets, and they're really quick to change. So it's clearly marked on here. So if you're doing range, you just whack it around. You go up to 5, 3.5, 2.5, all the way around 1.25. So you can relatively turn that in game and adjust the focal length of the sight picture to suit the play style of the particular game you're in. So really interested in this sight. This is new to me. Haven't actually played this one yet. Have played all these. So it's kind of, there's a lot of theory there. I've taken some theory and elements from the real steel world-ish of how some of these YouTube tutors, if you like, explain how to use this, and I'm going to see how that emanates down into the Magfed world. I'm assuming it will come down to Magfed in a lot closer ranges. You know, I'm not going to be shooting this at 300, 400 yards. You know, 100 yards, 100 meters or so ish is probably going to be what I'm aiming at this. And if I'm using first strikes, I might push the boundaries of it a little bit. But yeah, when you do look at this style of sight, there's a couple of things to take into account. Sometimes they come with the mounts, sometimes they don't. They probably won't come with the riser, so you'll need a riser with any sight you get. That one came with a riser, so as you can see, it's already up level with there. So there's less real estate on the top of your marker. There's less bulk. There's that one. That's quite a nice one because there's no bulk. If you're fitting that on there, that's quite a bulky sight to put on your marker. And again, coming down, you'd have that and that, which is a fair bit of bulk. This one kind of, because the whole thing's fairly bulky, it kind of gets hidden away. But these particular mounts are 30mm mounts. Just make sure that you get the right mount for the diameter of your scope. The manufacturers will tell you what mount that you'll normally they'll tell you what mount you'll get, or they'll tell you what circumference the sight is here. I think they're normally, it's either 24, 26 or 30mm, depending on what sights you get. Okay, so hope that's been interesting. It's just kind of an intro into the world of red dots and my opinions on whether they're effective for paintball, or more specifically Magfed paintball. And Hope this has been helpful to you. If it has, hit the like, subscribe and bell notifications. If you found this video interesting, check out my playlists on the channel page. There's going to be other stuff in there, holsters, mag pouches, belt kits, all that kind of good stuff. So have a good route around, find something else you're interested in, and thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.